Cloudcast Media. Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media, and we're doing a special edition of the Spotlight on the Community show. We are the nation's longest-running community podcast, now in our 18th year. We're brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 6 decades, doing great things for folks living in San Diego County. Honored to be at the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial on this Memorial Day. We're going to have a great celebration coming up in a few hours. And we're even more proud to say that on our show is Bob Mulrooney. He is the Docent Program Manager for Mount Soledad Memorial Association, and this wonderful tribute to veterans. How you doing, Bob?
I'm doing well, thank you.
I appreciate you coming on. So, did you serve?
I did.
And when did you do that, and where did you do it?
I was a Russian voice intercept specialist.
Is that right?
Yes.
And
from 62 to 66. And I was stationed about a mile from the wall in Berlin. And then I was stationed up in northeastern Turkey up on the Russian border.
My goodness. What branch?
Air Force.
Was in the Air Force. My goodness. Well, thank you for your service. How long did you serve in the Air Force?
4 years.
4 years. And then from there, did you come back to the U.S., or what did you do?
I did. I did a little traveling in Europe. And with a buddy.
Right.
And then came home. I grew up here, so this is home, and I've never left.
Very, very good. Where do you live in San Diego County?
I'm in the Valley area.
Okay. Very, very nice. Have you been there the whole time?
I've been around.
Okay, right.
Raised my family out in Fletcher Hills.
Oh, okay.
Grew up in Ocean Beach.
Oh, okay, right. Hodad's. Was Hodad's around when you were?
No. They came along later.
That came along after there. Okay, so your kids went to school out here?
Yes, and my son just retired as a Navy aviator.
Thank him for his service, too.
He is a trustee, and he will be here with his family today.
Oh, very, very nice. Now, does he come every year to the Memorial Day celebration?
Now that he's a trustee and now that he's home and on retired duty, as we say,
right?
Yeah, he'll be here.
So talk about what's the mission of MSMA? What is your mission?
Well, I'm a volunteer myself.
Right.
And I've been affiliated with Mount Soledad for about 10 years now as a docent.
Right.
I was actually executive director for a brief period of time and stepped down and thought I just couldn't step completely away from Mount Soledad.
Right.
So I stayed here and I oversee the volunteer program.
Right. So talk about the docents. How many do you have?
I started with 5. I have 31 now.
Oh, my God, 31 docents. And talk about their role in general.
Well, the docents give us 3 hours a week. They all have a shift.
Okay.
Usually like a 9 to 12 or a 1 to 4 shift.
Okay.
We try and have coverage now 7 days a week.
Right.
And when I when I interview potential docents, I've got to make sure that they have the personality where they can talk to anybody.
Right.
They need to be intelligent, they need to be personable, they need to be outgoing, and they don't have to be a veteran. I have 8 or 9 of my docents are never served.
Interesting.
I have 3 ladies that are docents, and their reason to be here is they're kind of overwhelmed when they first come up here and see what this is all about. And when I begin to take them around and share some of the stories with them, it starts to grow on them. And as I tell them, the longer they do this, the better they become at it because they learn more about different stories that are here.
Right, exactly. How much do they have to study of the 6,600 plaques that are up here?
Well,
Is there more plaques than
no, I'll tell you how many there really are.
Yeah.
Because fellow docent and I counted them one by one.
Oh, my
Not too long ago. And there's right around between 57 and 5,800 right now.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah. Now, there's about 7,500 names, but there's about 5,800 plaques.
Gotcha. Okay. So getting back to that question, they have to have a great knowledge. They obviously can't memorize every plaque, I understand, but they have to be pretty well versed on the different, campaigns that people fought in. Is that correct?
No, they don't have to necessarily be attached to the campaigns.
Okay.
Because they can read a lot from a plaque.
Right.
But when they sign up, I give them a 40-page training manual.
40 pages. Okay.
Yeah.
And what's in that 40 pages?
Directions to Mount Soledad.
Probably the most important. Right. You're right.
Questions and answers for visitors. Do's and don'ts for visitors. Do's and don'ts for docents.
Okay.
We don't want people up here disrespecting that this is a memorial and think it's a place to have a picnic at the top of the stairs
Right.
and leave a mess.
Right.
We appreciate if people don't smoke up here.
Right.
We don't want people sitting on the walls. And we want people just to be on their best behavior.
Yeah.
And we expect the docents to do the same.
Right.
So-
Now, is this open 7 days a week?
Yes, it is.
From when to when?
7 a.m. to 10 p.m.
Wow. So is there a docent here, or is there somebody here during that time?
No.
So we just trust people aren't going to do idiot things, correct?
From 7 to 9 a.m., we hope they don't. And after about 8 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the evening, we hope they don't.
And they don't, correct? For the most part.
For the most part.
Yeah. Yeah.
Kids get a little silly up here sometimes.
Right. Right.
And leave things behind.
Right.
So we have a fellow here. He's not called a docent, but he called himself a volunteer. His name is Bob McCollum. He's 86 years old, and he comes here 6 days a week, and he wipes every wall down.
Oh my
And
goodness.
before he does that, he polices the area.
And what's his name again?
Bob McCollum.
So Bob McCollum needs to be photocopied about 105 times over, correct? So we can have a whole bunch of Bob McCollums running around.
He's a great speaker, and he's known as Bottom Gun
And why is that?
because he served on submarines.
Oh, okay.
And so as opposed to Top Gun, he's Bottom Gun.
Let me ask you this. Does he have a plaque?
He has a plaque above his two sons' plaques.
Here. Oh,
Here.
my goodness. Okay.
Yes, because two things about Mount Soledad that are unique to any other memorial in the country.
Right.
One is that we honor living and deceased
right.
veterans,
Right.
and two, we have the photograph of the veteran on the plaque.
Yeah, yeah. Well, soon my dad will be up here. There's already a brick for him. There will be a brick for him, I should say. And then,
That's great.
Yeah, he fought in Guadalcanal in World War II.
Really?
And yes, and so
We just had the unveiling of a plaque my son did for 5 of the fellows in his squadron that didn't make it home.
was that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it's so important. So when I think about docents doing great things at our different museums in San Diego, what comes to my mind is this organization that's near and dear to your guys' heart. You guys work very, very closely with the USS Midway Museum, to say the least. And they got a zillion docents running around that.
600.
600, right. Now, some of you guys, do you do both? There's some people that do both?
No.
Only one, is that right? Okay, so you either do that or
Yeah,
here.
they have a much more rigid, lengthy training program
Yeah.
to become a docent on the Midway.
Right.
What I do here with the training manual that I put together, I put a list in there of each of our Medal of Honor recipients that are here
Right,
and a little bit of a bio beyond what's on the plaque.
right.
So that they have that as a referral point. And then we have another list of what we call notable plaques for people like Bob Hope,
Okay,
Jimmy Stewart,
right.
General Patton, Audie Murphy. Well, Audie Murphy's on our Medal of Honor recipient plaque.
Right.
But the others, we have some other people here that are Wally Schirra, Jerry Coleman.
Sure. Iconic Jerry Coleman. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, yeah. World War II hero, absolutely.
Ted Williams.
Yep, sure. And just saw his plaque walking around. We're chatting with Bob Mulrooney. He is the docent program manager for the Mount Soledad Memorial Association. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show. We're doing a special edition here at the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial. It is Memorial Day 2024. We are brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for 60 years doing great things in San Diego County. So how many more docents would you love to have? Can you go as far as you like, or, we don't want to have too many?
No, we don't want to get too many more. I'd like to have 5 or 6 in the backup stage.
Right.
Like right now, I have 3 that are gone for the summer.
Okay.
So I've got to juggle and and fill in their slots until they come back.
Right.
And so when I move that guy from Tuesday morning to Thursday afternoon, I've got to move somebody into that Tuesday morning slot.
Right.
And I've got to ask my Sunday morning guy if he'd be okay with that. And so there's a lot of that goes on.
It's a jigsaw on this aspect of it. So when people contact you, and before we end the interview here, I wanted you to give us your email address. Someone listening goes, I'd love to be a docent, and they can start with you on that aspect of it. The commitment, again, is how many hours a week?
3.
3 a week, okay. And
then we ask them voluntarily to come up from some of our other events, like today.
That's right.
And I'll have a number of I'll bet 15 of my docents are here today.
Right, helping out.
Just because they want to come up and be part of it.
Well, you want a lot of hands on deck on that aspect as well. So what is your email address?
obeachr@gmail.com.
Okay, so all I need to do is say, hey, I was listening to you, Bob, on a special edition of the Spotlight Show, and somebody like the host, Drew, mentioned that if there's an interest in being a docent, to contact you, and that would be fine on that. Yeah, I think that is absolutely terrific. I imagine the docents, and you started when there was. Were you in charge from the beginning of all the docents?
No.
Okay, so and then you've grown it from 5 to 31 on this aspect of it. I imagine the docents that work with you said, listen, I knew I was going to enjoy this, but I didn't know how much joy I was going to get out of it.
I can't tell you how often I hear that story. I can think of one of the docents who said, Bob, this has been life-changing for me. That's touching. And I hear that. And docents universally, I think, will tell you, if you interviewed them all, if you lined up 31 of them and asked them, they'd say how much this means to them.
I can see it. I can easily see it. You're out there, you're meeting somebody you may not have met before. They were visiting from wherever. And now you get to show this just beautiful memorial, nothing like it in the world. And just to see the look in their faces when, oh my goodness, that is quite a deal. You've changed my life. And I imagine a lot of it has changed people's life on this as well. So what does Memorial Day mean to you?
Well, it means more to me now that my son fulfilled his 20-year career as a search and rescue pilot and was able to come home. It's an emotional day. You think about
the people you lost,
the number of people that are gone,
right?
The amazing number of young men and women that sacrificed their life,
right? Well, they sacrificed their life so we can be here doing things like this, okay?
Absolutely.
And they've done this so there's just, freedom. We're just talking to Ed Heiner, Decorated SEAL, before you got on, Bob, and should never, ever, ever forget how precious freedom is and how easy it is to be lost. And there's no question.
In my family, my father was a Pearl Harbor survivor.
Wow.
I had 3 uncles and an aunt and a brother and a son that all served.
Yeah, well, listen, first of all, bless you and your family for doing this. Thank you for the great work you're doing with the Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial. And I'm sure somewhere down the road our paths will cross, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the day.
Thank you very much for having me on, Drew. I really appreciate it.
It's absolutely our honor.
Enjoy your day.
And we will do that. Honored. Bob Mulrooney, he is the Docent Program Manager for the Mount Soledad Memorial Association. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to a special edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union at this absolutely gorgeous and breathtaking Mount Soledad National Veterans Memorial on Memorial Day 2024. We hope you enjoyed the interview.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.